Hello, today represents a wonderful day from the point of view of the post office scandal. Alan Bates has been offered a knighthood. The post office scandal, the Horizon IT scandal, is probably going to go down as one of the most significant miscarriages of justice in the UK, involving the wrongful prosecution of subpostmasters because of the faults of the Horizon computer software used by the post office. The Horizon IT system, which was introduced in 1999, was used for accounting and managing various transactions within the post office. And it was plagued with bugs and errors, and it was known to be faulty. The Fujitsu people who made it knew there were problems with it. And between 2000 and 2014, dogged by private eye, the post office has prosecuted around 900 sub-postmasters based on data taken from the Horizon system, accusing them of theft, of fraud, of false accounting. Many of them were convicted, fined, imprisoned, financially and personally ruined, despite their consistent claims of ignorance, or indeed because they felt cowed into taking responsibility to protect others. And Alan Bates, a former sub-postmaster, spearheaded the campaign for justice and set up the Sub-Postmasters Alliance, initiated legal action against the post office, which culminated in the High Court case of 2019 and was followed by the inquiry, which is still ongoing. The court found that the Horizon system was not reliable and that the post office had been wrong to pursue prosecutions. In December 2019, the High Court ruled in favour of the sub-postmasters, criticising the post office's conduct, and this paved the way for the quashing of wrongful convictions, so that now dozens of convictions have been overturned, and most convictions are expected to be overturned. But I mean, it takes time, and after so many years, there isn't time, because this goes back even before the Horizon system. There was a faulty system in place which led to convictions as well. A lot of attention has been focused on Paula Vennells, who was the CEO of the post office from 2012 to 2019. Under her benign, or malign, actually, I should say, malign influence, and under her malign leadership, this vicar, the aggressive prosecution of sub-postmasters continued, despite the growing evidence of issues related to the Horizon system. And it's not, she isn't exonerated by weeping copiously. She faced significant criticism over the period and more recently for her role failing to address the systemic problems and overseeing a culture of intimidation and denial. And so there's a series of issues that actually need to be unpicked. They haven't been unpicked so far. She's simply been sort of the poster boy of vilification, and rightly so. But that unpicking is something that will have to be done, because the culture, this culture of intimidation, I think, is the most alarming aspect of the Horizon crisis, and it's something that we see reflected all the way across our society, where big business, big authority, schools, universities, institutions intimidate the people who are who feel that they've been hard done by, who feel they've been wronged. A really good example of this, again now, is the doctors' crisis. So many doctors who have been involved in whistleblowing about errors in the NHS have had their careers, their livelihoods, their sanity undermined by the intimidation and the aggression of the officials at the NHS, the officials in government, in the health ministry, conniving with the legal system to suppress and to destroy individuals simply because they have spoken out, simply because they've done their job. Alan Bates, who's knighted today, or at least on the list to be knighted today, must be seen as the leading figure in the fight for justice. He's played a crucial role in bringing the scandal to light and set a form for future groups to organize and to copy. His dedication, his persistence are instrumental in that process towards legal victory. And the Justice for Subpostmasters Alliance, the JFSA, has been vital. That group pressure in pushing for legal redress. Their work ensured that the scandal was kept. The public was kept aware of the scandal, and equally, I think one should never underestimate the importance and the value of private eye, and pushing the authorities finally to act, and the small number of MPs who supported this campaign, like Lord Arbuthnot, also should not be underestimated. The impact of the aggression by the post office, the reputation, the damage to people's reputations, the damage to the post office itself, the credibility of the post office, the institution has elicited public outrage, legal scrutiny, and cause for significant reform. But what we've seen is bits of it have just been sold off. The call for compensation, for redress. Again, slow, tardy, insufficient, lackluster, foot-dragging. And at this point, after so many years, we should be seeing institutional reform. What we've seen is selling off. What we've seen is a wiping of the hands, a washing of the hands. We need better protection for whistleblowers and for individuals wrongly accused of crimes due to technological failure, because this is the beginning of the AI age. And if we can't get it right now, we will never get it right. It's not enough simply to have a public inquiry and to wring our hands and to have a parade of people who may or may not be aberrant. We need to set up systems to hold institutions to account. We need to find ways to question technology. And until we do that, we cannot go through life with a reverence for technology as if it is divine. It's not divine. It errs. It's not infallible. And the computer says no is something we should remember as a celebration of satire and contempt. The computer is not right. The computer is wrong. The computer can make mistakes because the computer is predicated on the stupidity of the individuals who are using it. Computers are not designed by the people who use them. Computers are designed by boffins. There are mistakes. Either the boffins make mistakes, they have assumptions, or the people who are eventually using those computers make assumptions and make mistakes. But there are two separate groups of people who are interfacing with a system which is mighty and inflexible. And it's the inflexibility which is the problem. Inflexible, not infallible. And Alan Bates' honour, the recognition with a knighthood, highlights the significance of his efforts. A one-man computer, an individual who has gone back to the paperwork to expose the scandal, to get justice for those people who were affected. And the knighthood comes after he declined the OBE because Paula Vennells had been given honours. Now she's handed those back, he can accept his. This is a scandal which should reverberate through our society, because we have seen the disintegration, the dismantling, the disappearance of the post office in our daily life. And yet it's still an important feature. We still wait on the mail. There's still a little thrill when a nice letter pops through the door. There's still a sort of groan when it's another another generated piece of paper verbiage. But I'm always delighted to receive letters, always. And the moment the letterbox clicks open, that's a lovely sound. I was a postman for a while, and I know how hard they work. But the post office is fractured almost beyond recovery. And we have to do, the next government has to do something to repair and reassemble the post office. Without that, we will lose this wonderful organ of communication.